There is something royally wrong with the government right now, and I am not talking about the laws that are being overturned right now that's going to strip me of my safety in a workplace because I'm LGBT, but also because I lost my right to bodily autonomy. I'm talking about what everyone's so fond of saying about bodily autonomy and how you can put them in foster care and they'll go to a loving family when that's not true. 90% of the places I've been to have either raped me or beaten me or stripped me of all of my paychecks. Do you understand this? I am 18 years old. I've been trying for a year to get my case to be closed. Finally! My dad hasn't even been in my life for 5 years and I'm still having my case open. They can keep me until I'm 26 years old. I had court yesterday to finally be released from foster care because they told me if I had 1,000 in savings, it would be fine and they would release me. I'd prove I'd be a quote unquote proper citizen of society. But the problem is about 2 weeks before this, I got into a car accident. I had to use that 1,000 to pay for the repairs of not just my car but their car. And I had to also work through insurance. And because of that, my case that was supposed to be closed yesterday has been extended.
So, this heartbreaking TikTok by this TikToker named My Oral talks about her experience within the foster care system in the United States, especially in this moment right now when right wingers are talking about Roe v. Wade and they just say, oh, yeah, put your kid up for adoption, and fail to realize that not only does the adoption process have a lot of like racism and like homophobia built into it, and a lot of it is just literally privatized, it's also incredibly expensive, and a lot of kids just end up in foster care. And the foster care system that exists within the United States of America isn't something that was born out of like this humane spirit of like taking care of children. The reality is the foster care system in the United States of America cannot be disconnected from its roots in the colonial project that is the United States of America. The reality is the foster care system as it is today was born out of a larger system of stealing children away from marginalized people, from stealing children away from poor folks, from indigenous folks especially, and from a system that actively sought to separate black children from their families. That is what the foster care system was born out of. It is this colonial project fundamentally at its core. And so while there sure might be great foster parents out there, the harsh reality is that this system was not set up with the needs of children in mind. It was set up primarily based around having the ability to take children away from their families. Taking care of the children then at that point was really a secondary component to it. And that reality can really be seen today. Because I mean, just think about it. Foster parents can get paid to be foster parents by fostering children, and they're given an incredible amount of control over these kids' lives. I mean, in this case, she's literally an adult. She's 18. But think to yourself for a second, is that material support given to parents? If Child Protective Services is called on a family who is struggling financially, where children are struggling to get food to eat, are they going to come in and say, well, we would give a foster parent this much money, so why don't we just give you that much money instead so that you can afford food? No, they'll be like, oh, well, you're poor, so I guess we'll just take the kids away from you. Too bad, so sad. You can't afford to be a parent. And just think about how vicious that system is. Think about how evil that system is. And this is the reality, is that it's being sold as like this panacea, that it's like, oh, don't worry, everything will be fine. You can just put your kid up for adoption. You can just put them into foster care. But that's just not how the system works. There's actually a big movement of people who grew up in the foster system today to try and change how the system works because it works so terribly. And foster children have to deal with incredibly high rates of victimization from a litany of different problems. People who grew up in the foster care system are less likely to graduate, more likely to suffer from like mental illnesses, more likely to suffer from trauma, have a lower rate of graduating from college and things like that. The reality is that our system is fundamentally failing foster kids. But these right-wingers just shamelessly throw it out there whenever we talk about abortion. I mean, Obviously, they're just ignoring the fact that forcing somebody to give birth against their will is actually pretty evil to do, that it's actually itself an act of violence. But then you have children who are forced to grow up in violent environments themselves within the foster care system that fundamentally is failing to protect them. And you have right wingers pretending that this is some sort of like epic, amazing solution when it's really not. It's actually quite miserable. And it just goes to show you the evil hypocrisy of these right wingers. They fundamentally don't care about life. They don't care about whether or not people are treated well. All they care about is exerting power over others. That's it. Period. Stop. It was never about protecting life. It was never about this like moral view of like, oh no, they're killing babies. They don't think a fetus is a baby. Everybody knows that a fetus is not a baby. That's a ridiculous thing to believe. What they want is they want the ability to enforce their will on other people, and it's just that simple. What they want is this very restrictive, patriarchal view of the nuclear family where men are in control of the women around them and where women only serve the role of producing children. And then additionally, any children that are produced are the legal property of the father. That's it. That's the beginning and end of the story. They view children and women as property, fundamentally. And that is why they supported overturning Roe v. Wade. It's also why they don't care about the foster care system. They view children as property. They view children as commodities. They view women as beings that exist solely for the purpose of creating children. They fundamentally refuse to accept these people as human beings.